everyone, my name is Keely. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today it is once again time for my monthly reset. Obviously this one for April. So of course I have a little to-do list on my phone of everything I want to get through in this monthly reset. I really love doing these videos and just starting out the month in a really organized, great way. I also love watching other people do these videos. So if you also do resets, let me know because I've probably already watched it, but if I haven't, I will definitely check it out. But let's go through all of the things I want to do. So first and foremost, the things that I always start out with are dusting my bookshelves and vacuuming my room. My bookshelves are black, so they get quite dusty and you can see them. And I just like to start off the month on a clean note. And then of course, counting my TBR books, I'm really challenging myself this year to read the physical books that I own and haven't read. And I've been doing really good with that this year so far. So we'll check in with that and see how things are going. And then of course, I will go through my arcs for the month of April. I do have quite a few that I need to get through. And then I'll also talk about my TBR, possible video plans. And then finally, I'm gonna end out this video with a little new segment that I'm gonna start incorporating in my resets, and that is talking about all the movies and TV shows that I watched in the previous month, because I also love watching things and I don't want to make a whole video about it, but I think it is a great way to kind of show you what else I am doing and other stories that I am consuming. So that will be at the end, so if you're not interested in that, you can like skip out on that. But let's get started and reset this month. Alright, room is dusted and vacuumed and all clean and ready to go. So let's take a look at all of my TBR books that I have. This shelf is actually my TBR shelf, and I have counted. So last month I had 183, and now starting out in April I am down to 173. So I am definitely reading books from my TBR. In fact, in March I read a lot of books that I've owned for several years, and so I'm really hoping we keep that momentum going, because I am so happy, ecstatic, and proud of how much progress I've finally been making on my physical TBR, because a lot of these books have been sitting on my shelves forever and I'm actually loving them when I do pick them up. I just need to focus more on that, which I have been doing and I am very proud of. As far as arcs I have to read in April, I actually have 6 arcs from NetGalley that I need to get through. Now I'm going to run down these real quick and just tell you a little bit about what I know, because a lot of times for arcs when I request them, I read the synopsis, I'm interested, and then I kind of forget what they're about until I start reading them again. So the first one I have is Heart Still Beating. I believe this is a YA apocalyptic dystopian, which I love apocalypse stories and dystopian stories, so I'm really looking forward to that one. Then I have Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. This is a sci-fi horror. S.A. Barnes also wrote Dead Silence last year, and I really enjoyed that one. I love the sci-fi elements in with the horror, and the space spookiness was really creepy, because I think space is quite terrifying, so I am really looking forward to that one. One of them I have already read, and that is The Darkness Rises by Stacey Stokes. So this one is about a high school girl who has always had the ability to see when people are about to die, and the way that she sees this is they start developing a dark cloud over their head. So she is having to decide and battle with the choice of, do I save them or not? Because one time she saved someone that went on to kill a lot of people, and so she is struggling with that kind of like morality type thing. Really interesting. I really like Stacey Stokes. Then I have Kill Her Twice by Stacey Lee. This is a historical mystery. I've read one book from this author before, and that was like Titanic, which was really interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else she has. And then Granite Harbor. Now, I DNF'd this one, so I actually will not be reading this one in April, but I still wanted to tell you about it. This is an adult mystery, and I was just bored, so I put it down. And the last one I have is Love You Mean It, which is an adult romance, and I think it also has the amnesia trope, which I'm very hesitant about because I do not like memory loss tropes in my books. But those are all the arcs that I have for April. I think the one I am most looking forward to that I obviously haven't read yet is probably Ghost Station, because I really did enjoy Dead Silence. So hopefully I get all of these arcs through. Again, one of my goals for this year was to actually read my arcs in the month or before they come out, and I have been nailing that, so gotta keep this going. Moving on to TBR books, books that I want to read in April. I don't have an extensive list because I am kind of slumping right now, and so I'm not trying to put a whole lot of plans in place for this month, but I do have 3 books that I would like to get to, and they are all sequels. And the first one here is a part of the Trials of Apollo series, and that is The Tower of Nero. This is actually the final book in the series. This is one of Rick Riordan's books from the Percy Jackson world, and I have been loving reading all of his books. Last year I reread 2 of his series so I could start this one, and it's been so much fun. But yes, this is the last one, so I'm hoping to finish out that series in the month of April. And next, I have another sequel. Like I said, these are all sequels, and that is Exile by Shannon Messenger. This is a book 2 in the Keeper of the Lost series, Lost Cities series. How many times can I say series in this video? And this one is actually middle grade. They are chunky, but I flew through the first book and I loved it so much. We follow a little girl named Sophie who, since she was 5, has been able to read minds, and one day she meets a boy who can also read minds, and she realizes she's not alone, and then he tells her that she is an elf. I love it so much. Cannot wait to see what else happens, and I hope we see more of the school setting in this one, because I loved the school setting in the first one really, like, a lot. I can't really speak right now, but the third book I have is Rogue by Julie Kagawa. The first book was Talon, and this is a dragon shifter series. Not shifter in the sense of like romance, but in the sense of these are dragons, but they can also turn into humans. And the first one left off on a note that I really need to continue because there's some betrayal happening, and I can't wait to see how that plays out. But yes, those are the 3 books that I am pretty much planning to get to for sure in April. But like I said, I don't want to make any set plans. So like moving into video plans, I guess we can kind of discuss that here, because again, I don't have any set plans. So if there are any videos you would like to see from me in April, please let me know, because right now I've got a clean slate. I don't have any plans. Alright, wrapping out this reset video by talking about all the movies and TV shows that I watched in March. Now, I do watch more TV shows than movies typically, so I have a few things to talk about here, and there was a lot of good stuff going on in March. So I'm in the middle of a lot of TV shows, and I have actually been binging a few of them recently. One of the shows that I have started binging is Kitchen Nightmares, and in March I watched season 2. So this is Gordon Ramsay's show where he goes into terrible restaurants and tries to rescue them and save them so that they can stay open. This is so interesting because a few years ago, I had an irrational fear of Gordon Ramsay, and last year I did some like of my own exposure therapy, and now I love that man so much, so I'm trying to watch all of his TV shows. And it's so funny because here in America, all of our shows are like censored, like the curse words are beeped out. When I started watching this, and if you know, Gordon Ramsay loves his curse words, this show is not censored, and let me just say I was clutching at my pearls, but got over that, got past it because it's Gordon Ramsay. But some of these kitchens are disgusting, and actually this show has pretty much ruined me because every time I go into a restaurant I look at it through the eyes of Gordon Ramsay. Like yesterday I was at a restaurant with my dad and I could hear the people in the kitchen like communicating, and I was like, Gordon would love the communication skills going on. Like, it's completely ruined me. But I love this show so much, and so yes, I finished season 2 and it was great. The next show I binge watched was People Magazine Investigates, and I actually watched seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this is on ID, Investigation Discovery, and I am a sucker for ID. I am so obsessed with that channel. It's probably my most watched TV show channel of all time. And People Magazine Investigates is one where I've seen a lot of the episodes on TV, but I saw that it was on Max and all the seasons, and so I decided to sit down and watch all of the cases that I haven't seen before. If you don't know, Investigation Discovery is a true crime channel, so this show is true crime through the lens of the journalists from People Magazine, and I love how this one is done because you get to know so much of the victims and their story, and that's what it focuses on. And so I feel like by the end of the episode you are so connected to who these people were, and it can get really emotional at times, and I definitely do cry in some of these episodes, and it's hard hitting. And they also do deal with a lot of cold cases, which is really interesting as well. I love this show, and there are still more seasons I need to watch, so I am definitely continuing my binge. Next, I finished season 7 of The Amazing Race. Last year I started binging the show, and then I was watching season 7 and I stopped watching it halfway through the last episode. So all I had to watch in March was 30 minutes of the last episode. I don't know why I stopped. I think it's because this season had like my favorite people from Survivor ever, and I knew they weren't going to win the show, so I did not want to watch them lose. But I will say the people that won this season were probably the most deserving reality contestants I have ever seen. Overall, it was a really great season on The Amazing Race. I would love to do this show. I think me and my dad would excel at it. So if there's any casting directors out there watching this, just call me up and I would love to do it. On the other hand, I have also applied to Survivor 5 times, so I'm still waiting for that call back as well. And the last thing I watched was also on Investigation Discovery, and a ton of people around the world also watch this, and that is Quiet on Set. Now, this is the background story of everything that happened on the set of Nickelodeon with all the child actors. So if you watch it, definitely check trigger warnings, because this one is one of the darkest shows I have watched on ID. It was really fascinating because I am a 90s kid, early 2000s, so all of these shows and all of these actors were very familiar to me. Specifically, we get to hear the story and account of Drake Bell. And Drake Bell, I'm telling you, I still have his CD in my closet, like on the top shelf. Like, it's not buried and hidden away. It's still up there in its place of honor because I grew up loving him and his music, and we just got to hear this whole story. I knew that Nickelodeon did have a dark side, but we get to learn so much more, and this was heartbreaking, fascinating, angering, and just so upsetting all at the same time. There is a bonus episode that is coming out soon, so you can bet I definitely will be watching that. So those are all the things that I watched in March, and that is also the end of my April reset. Let me know if you have any videos or books or TV shows that you absolutely loved in March. If you have made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave the tulip emoji. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, all my social media links will be down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!